If you're based in Georgia and ready to take your business idea to the next level, forming an LLC is an absolute must. A limited liability company gives you incredible personal liability protection, while still allowing flexible tax treatment as a disregarded entity, partnership, or corporation. But let's be real, the LLC formation process can seem pretty confusing and intimidating if you've never done it before. There are forms to file, fees to pay, and requirements to follow. Where do you even start? Well, in this video, I'm gonna break the whole process down into easy, crystal clear. We'll cover everything from naming your Georgia LLC and filing the articles of organization, all the way to setting up bylaws, getting your tax ID number, and handling licenses. By the end, you'll have a professional, legit LLC in Georgia up and running without the headaches. Before we dive in, I've got a quick favor to ask. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be alerted when I drop new videos on how to launch and grow your empire. Let's get started. To form a legit LLC in Georgia that shields your personal assets, you need to fulfill a few key legal requirements. 1, the name must include LLC, LLC, or the phrase limited liability company, and be distinguishable from existing business names registered. 2, you must appoint an official registered agent to accept service of process and official mail on the LLC's behalf. This can be you, another LLC member, or a professional registered agent. 3, the LLC articles of organization need to be filed with the Georgia Corporations Division, either online or by mail. This is the core document that officially registers your LLC with the state. 4, while an operating agreement laying out the ownership and operational terms aren't legally required in Georgia, you absolutely want to have one in place to maintain asset protection and avoid disputes down the road. 5, your new LLC will need to obtain a federal employer ID or EIN from the IRS. 6, depending on your industry, you may need to secure certain licenses or permits from Georgia or your local municipality to legally operate your new business. Now let's break down the actual steps to check off these requirements and get your Georgia LLC started. Step 1, name your Georgia LLC. Your name is a critical first step, as it creates your first impression with customers, and it needs to be unique and compliant with Georgia's naming rules for LLCs. Spend some time brainstorming killer possibilities, keeping it catchy, but letting people know what you do. Once you've picked a frontrunner, you'll need to check that it's available for use and not already taken by another Georgia business entity. Do a search on the Georgia Corporations Division's website. If your perfect name is available, you can reserve it for a $25 fee while you work on the rest of your formation documents. But don't drag your feet. Reservations only last 30 days. Step 2, appoint a registered agent. All Georgia LLCs must maintain an address for service of process with a registered agent who agrees to accept official mail and potential legal documents on behalf of the LLC. This is a role you can take on yourself if you have a physical address in Georgia, or you can hire an affordable registered agent service to represent you. The benefit of using a registered agent service is that it keeps your personal address and contact details off of the public record. Most charge just $100 or so per year, providing privacy and ensuring you never miss any critical compliance documents. Step 3, file the LLC articles of organization. Next up is filing the LLC articles of organization, either online or by mail, with the Georgia Secretary of State's Corporations Division to formally register your new LLC. This document key details like your business name, principal office address, registered agent name and address, whether the LLC will be manager or member managed, and more. Georgia's filing fee for this document is $100. You'll choose an effective date for your LLC's formation and get an officially approved and stamped copy of the articles back as confirmation. Step 4, create an operating agreement. While Georgia doesn't legally require you to maintain an operating agreement, it's absolutely essential if you want to preserve your LLC's liability protections and codify the rules for ownership and operations. An operating agreement essentially acts as your LLC's master document, spelling out each member's ownership percentage, their rights and responsibilities, how profits and losses get distributed, procedures for adding new members or transferring ownership, and guidelines for dissolving the LLC if needed. If you have multiple members, it prevents future disagreements on how the LLC is run. If you're a solo owner, it reinforces your LLC's separation from your personal affairs. Either way, this document needs to exist to maintain your personal asset protection. I'll include some templates from self-help legal sites in the description to make drafting your operating agreement easy and affordable. Step 5. Get an employer identification number. The next step is obtaining an employer identification number, or EIN, from the Internal Revenue Service. This 9-digit number is used to identify your LLC for tax purposes, payroll reporting, opening business bank accounts, and more. You can easily get an EIN directly from the IRS website. Just fill out their online application with details on your LLC, and they'll issue you the number right away for free. Definitely prioritize getting your EIN assigned early on. Step 6. Obtain required business licenses. Depending on the nature of your business, you may need to apply for additional licenses or permits to legally operate in Georgia after forming your LLC. For example, businesses involved with construction, food service, professional services like law or medicine, selling merchandise, and many others need to obtain certain state, county, or municipal licenses first. I'll include some resources in the description that allow you to check which licenses, if any, apply to your Georgia LLC based on city and industry. Step 7. Handle remaining requirements. All right, your LLC has been officially formed after completing steps 1-6, but there are still a few housekeeping items left, such as the state business taxes. Your Georgia LLC will likely need to register for things like sales tax, withholding taxes for employees if you hire staff, and possibly industry-specific taxes like grocery sales or lodging. Another one is the annual registration and fees. Georgia requires all LLCs to file an annual registration and pay a $50 fee in order to maintain active status each year. Moving on is the business bank account. For liability purposes, you'll want to open a business bank account under your new LLC's name to keep the business and personal finances completely separate. Your LLC's EIN and paperwork make this easy. Also, record keeping is very important. Maintain thorough records related to your LLC's formation, operating agreement, ownership changes, licenses, taxes, and operations. Good records help show you're running a legitimate business. Hey, one last quick thing before you take off. If you just want to streamline this entire LLC formation process and get everything done for you quickly and affordably, check out the link for Zen Business in the description below. For Detero Plus, just your required state LLC filing fee, Zen Business will prepare and submit literally all of the paperwork to get your Georgia LLC formed correctly. They'll file your articles of organization, obtain your EIN from the IRS, provide a full year of free registered agent service, create an operating agreement tailored to your business, and keep you compliant with all of Georgia's LLC requirements. It doesn't get easier than that. Just answer a few simple questions about your new LLC on the Zen Business website, and they'll take it from there. Within a couple of weeks, your professional Georgia LLC will be 100% formed and ready to open its doors. Their service is a huge time saver for busy entrepreneurs looking to start an LLC in Georgia without the hiccups. So what is the cost of setting up an LLC in Georgia? In terms of out-of-pocket startup costs, setting up a Georgia LLC is very affordable, especially compared to other, more formal business structures. You're really just looking at a few potential fees. First is the state LLC filing fee. This is the big one, a $100 fee paid to the Georgia Corporations Division to submit your official articles of organization documents and form your LLC. The second fee is the LLC name reservation. If you want to reserve your name before officially filing, there's a $25 fee to hold it for up to 30 days after your application is processed. The third fee is the registered agent. You'll need to appoint an individual or company to serve as your registered agent for your Georgia LLC, receiving documents on the company's behalf. Going with a commercial registered agent service typically runs $100–300 per year. Lastly, operating agreement drafting fees. If going through a law firm, they'll likely charge $500 plus to draft your LLC operating agreement. but you can easily use affordable online templates for under $50. There's also optional potential costs like hiring a lawyer to give everything a thorough review before filing. Online LLC formation services that essentially handle the whole process seamlessly for around $100 plus any state fees. Other hidden fees can be LLC website domain purchase, business license fees, and more. But at the bare minimum, you're really just looking at shelling out that $100 fee to the state of Georgia to get your official LLC started. Every additional potential cost is just for services, convenience, or adding extra layers of formality. So how long does it take for an LLC to be approved in Georgia? One of the nice advantages of forming a limited liability company is that the state turnaround time for Georgia LLC approval is pretty fast these days. So you can go from concept to legitimate business entity in a matter of weeks. If you submit your articles of organization through Georgia's online corporations filing system, the Secretary of State estimates a turnaround time of only 7 business days for approval. On the other hand, submitting your LLC articles of organization to Georgia via mail takes a bit longer, around 15 business days, from the date your document is received. Once your Georgia LLC is up and running, there's one key ongoing requirement to maintain an active and compliant status with the state: filing the Georgia LLC annual registration. The Georgia Corporations Division requires all limited liability companies to submit an annual registration document and $50 filing fee each year. This confirms and updates your LLC's ownership information, registered agent details, business address, and other key facts. The initial annual registration is due between January 1st and April 1st, following your first full calendar year of operation. So for example, if you formed your Georgia LLC in June 2023, your first annual registration wouldn't be due until between January and April of 2025. After the very first year, annual registrations must be filed between January 1st and April 1st every single year moving forward. The $50 payment covers the annual registration fee for a 1-year period. Georgia does allow online annual registration filing for your convenience, but you can also submit the paper form by mail if you prefer. And voila! That's pretty much everything you need to get your Georgia LLC started on a firm legal footing while preserving liability protections for years to come. There you have it, folks. All the steps required to form a legit Georgia LLC are wrapped up in one video. By checking off things like filing the articles of organization, creating solid operating agreements, getting tax IDs and licenses, and more, you've unlocked a more official, asset-protected business path. But I know this was a lot of info, so if you get stuck anywhere along the way or want advice on maintaining things for the long haul, leave me a comment below. I'm always happy to walk through any part of the LLC formation process in more detail. While you're down there, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. It really helps the channel grow and lets me know what types of videos you want to see more of. And of course, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss another video on entrepreneurship, running a successful business, or just creating your ideal lifestyle. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.